Hi everyone, welcome to my Milestone 2 video tutorial. So in this tutorial I will be going over exactly how to complete your Milestone 2. So we're going to start out in our Brightspace page, and if you scroll, we're going to scroll down in Module 4 to the bottom where we have our final project. So we have two documents you will need. We have our Mechanic Data Instructions PDF, which you can follow along if you want. But the main piece that you'll be working with today is the bird data Excel spreadsheet. So go ahead and click on that and have this open while we go through this tutorial, and click when I click, okay? Just so that you familiarize yourself with the whole process. So let's start off by familiarizing ourselves with this spreadsheet. So if you take a look at this first page, this is the graph. So when we go to submit the Milestone 2 project assignment, we are essentially submitting this graph. So basically the graph is formatted in the correct format for submission. So we don't need to format this in any other way. We have 4 lines on a graph. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. You'll also notice we have a table over here that is in the format it should be. Okay. At the bottom, we have different sites. So we have different spreadsheets. So each spreadsheet has a different set of data. If you recall from Milestone 1, we had 3 data sets that we collected for our final project. So one of them was that the vegetation diversity data, which we got like GIS data from that website. The other 2 pieces of data we collected were bird data. One was using the point count method, and then the other was the Mechanic method. So we have both of those data sets in this file, this Excel file. So both of those data sets are present here. So each site has 2 tabs here. One is for the point count data, the other is for the Mechanic data. So here's point count data for Punta Gorda, here's point count data for the Mechanic data. So if I look at the Punta Gorda 15-mile circle, this is the point count data for it. And you can see it's basically just a bunch of species and the total number of individuals found for those species. So this is that data that got uploaded into that past software where the diversity indices were calculated. So we won't actually be using this data. We will only be using the Mechanic data. So we have Punta Gorda Mechanic data, we have Coxcomb Basin Mechanic data, we have Gallon Jug, and then we have, if we scroll over here, Belmont Pond. So this is the data we will be dealing with. Okay? So I'm going to be walking us through how we use this data and how we analyze it. So let's start out, let's just work with Belmont Pond here. So in this spreadsheet, you'll notice in column A we have the surveys. In column B we have different species. In column E we have the survey number. Column F we have the number of new species, and then column G is the cumulative species. So we are going to be playing around with the survey number, and we're going to be counting how many new species were found in each survey. Okay? So let's start out by looking at survey number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and click, I'm going to uncheck select all, and I'm just going to check survey number 1 just to see what were the new species. So these 10 species were written down in survey number 1. Okay, and you can highlight them if you want. Doesn't matter because they've already been counted. Okay, so if I go back to the survey and click select all, click OK, I'll notice in survey number 1 there were 10 new species, and these were all of the species listed. Okay, so you can see it's all alphabetized. So here were all 10 of the new species listed. So now I have to figure out how many new species were discovered in survey 2 that were not already counted in survey number 1. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my drop-down list under column A. I'm going to uncheck select all, and I'm just going to click survey 2 and click OK. So this time I'm going to go ahead and highlight them. I'm going to choose a different color though. You can choose whatever color. I'll choose orange. Okay. And then I'm going to go back and select all. So now I'm going to go through and see if any of these species have already been counted. So this first one, black-headed saltator, was not already counted. So there's no, none of them have been counted. There's only one counted anyway. So this is a new species. If I drop down here, the dusky antbird is also new. The dusky capped flycatcher is new, so now I have 3 new species. The groove-billed ani is new. The masked titra is new. The Montezuma operdola is new. The northern benthill is new. But if I look down here, the ochre-billed flycatcher was already counted in survey number 1, so I cannot count this as a new species. So this one has already been counted, so that I have to leave out, okay? But the short-billed pigeon is new, and the wing-barred seed-eater is new. So of my 10 species that were identified in survey number 2, I can only count 9 of them as new because we already counted ochre-billed flycatcher in survey number 1. So under survey number 2, I'm going to put a 9. And you'll notice when I do that, the cumulative number changes. So now I have 19. So next I go back into our survey down, uncheck select all, and this time select 3. I'm going to change the color to, this time I'll choose green. I'm going to go back, select all, click OK, and I'm going to do the same thing. So we have the brown jay that has not been counted, the brown hooded parrot hasn't been counted, so those are 2 new species. But the dusky capped flycatcher has already been counted, so I can't count that. So we already have 2 new species, but not this one. Great crested has already been counted, so can't count that one. Green heron is new, so that's 3. Magnolia warbler is new, so that's 4. Mealy parrot is new, so that's 5. Olive-throated parakeet is new, so that's 6. Red-throated ant tanager is 7. Can't count the short-billed pigeon because it was already counted, so I'm stuck at 7. So now I have 7 new species counted in survey number 3. Okay, so you'll continue doing that. Let's do one more to make sure that we are crystal clear on everything. So again, you uncheck select all, check survey number 4, click OK, choose another color to highlight them. I'll do blue, and then go back to the drop down menu, check select all, click OK, and then look for the blue. Okay, the golden fronted woodpecker is new, so that's 1 new species. The golden hooded tanager is also new, so that's 1 new species. So now we have 2 new species in survey 4. Green heron was already counted in survey 3, so I can't count that as a new species. So we're still stuck. We have 2 new species in survey 4, not that one. Can't do the masked titra. Can't do the bent bill. Can't do the northern water thrush. They were all found in previous surveys. Can't do the orchard oriole. But I can do the red lord parrot, so this would be number 3. I could do the roadside hawk because that has not been counted yet, so that's number 4. And the white colored mannequin I can do because that's hasn't been counted, so that's number 5. Okay, so now I'm up to 5 new species. So you can see as you move along in the surveys, your number of new species might start to decline over time, just because you've already been counted them, before, depending on the site that you're in. So as you go along, you'll be continuing to highlight the survey that you're dealing with, choose a new color, and then by the end you'll have like all sorts of color-coded things that it'll look like a rainbow. It'll be kind of pretty. So once you've completed all 15 surveys, then what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the graph, and notice in this table you have to change the table. Okay, so to do that we need to input the number of new species, or excuse me, the cumulative column from each site into here. It doesn't do it automatically. So if I take a close look at this graph, notice the Belmont line is this orange one. So if I go back to my Mechanic, let's say that I'm just going to take our current cumulative list. Now it's not complete, so just realize that I've only done 4 surveys. I still have 9 more to go, or 11 more to go. So let's say that it's complete. Let's say I'm already done and this is new. So you're going to copy this over. Okay, so you can click it. I guess, I don't know, I do Control C, and then I go to Graph, under Belmont, make sure you got, so that I know what to paste. So I don't want that, I just want the values. So I'm going to click the second one, and make sure, double check that those are the values that you entered. So I had 10 the first survey, I added 9, okay, then it was 7 and then 5. So this is the correct one. And so you can see what's happening to the line. It automatically changes. So it's very important that you copy, first of all, the right column. Sometimes I have students choose the number new column. No, it has to be the cumulative column. And then make sure that when you copy paste, it's pasting the values, not just some weird formula that it chooses. I don't know why it chooses weird formulas. Okay, so make sure it's exactly like the one that you want it to be. And then don't touch the formatting of the graph. This is how it's supposed to be. All right, so once you've completed all 4 of the Mechanic data analyses and you've switched everything and all the lines have changed, then you're done. Okay, so you can either submit it as an Excel spreadsheet, or you can convert it into a Word document like you would when you're going to input it into your final project. So you can copy and paste it into that Word document. You can even include like a figure legend or a caption or whatever. But mainly I'm going to be just looking at the table, make sure that the numbers look accurate, and make sure that the lines look accurate. And so if all 4 lines are correct, then you get a 95 out of 95. Okay? This also, I will be checking these throughout the week. So if I notice one of your lines is off, or if you messed up over here and you you inputted the number new instead of the cumulative, I'll email you so that you can change your document before the deadlines, because I really want you to get a 95 out of 95 on this. So it's best to submit early so that you do get the maximum number of points possible. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Otherwise, good luck.